Did you know that Brian H. Warner, aka Marilyn Manson, went from a quiet kid in Ohio to every 90s parent's worst nightmare? He didn't just push boundaries. He crushed them in platform boots and smeared the remains across the stage. With his eerie voice, theatrical antics, and a face that screams permanent Halloween, Manson became a rock legend and controversy magnet. Love him or fear him, one thing's certain: he's not just a musician. He's a full-blown cultural shockwave, ready to step into his chaotic world, early life, and influences. Brian Warner's upbringing laid the groundwork for the provocative artist he would become. Raised in a religious household, Warner's early experiences at Heritage Christian School exposed him to strict moral teachings and censorship. Ironically, his school's efforts to shield students from inappropriate music only fueled his curiosity, leading him to explore artists and genres that would later shape his sound. He later attended Glen Oak High School, graduating in 1987, and pursued a degree in journalism at Broward Community College in Florida. During his college years, Warner gained experience writing for music magazines like 25th Parallel, where he interviewed influential artists such as Trent Reznor of Nine Inch Nails. Reznor, who would become his mentor, played a pivotal role in launching Manson's music career by signing into his label, Nothing Records. The birth of Marilyn Manson and the Spooky Kids. In 1989, Warner and guitarist Scott Putesky, Daisy Berkowitz, formed Marilyn Manson and the Spooky Kids. The band's name was a deliberate juxtaposition of cultural icons Marilyn Monroe and Charles Manson, symbolizing the contrasting forces of beauty and darkness in American culture. The group's live performances quickly became infamous for their theatricality, featuring elaborate costumes, pyrotechnics, and disturbing visual elements such as mock crucifixions and provocative imagery. These performances earned them a loyal following in Florida's underground music scene. By 1992, the band shortened its name to Marilyn Manson and signed with Trent Reznor's label, Nothing Records. Their debut album, Portrait of an American Family, 1994, introduced their industrial metal sound and dark lyrical themes, resonating with disillusioned youth. The album's raw energy and unflinching critique of societal norms set the stage for the band's rise to prominence. Mainstream breakthrough and controversy. The band's second album, Antichrist Superstar, 1996, catapulted them to fame but also ignited widespread backlash. Featuring tracks like The Beautiful People, the album's aggressive sound and provocative themes challenged mainstream sensibilities. Manson's confrontational image, complete with Gothic makeup and shocking stage antics, made him a target of criticism from religious and political groups, who accused him of promoting immorality and violence. This controversy reached a boiling point in 1999 after the Columbine High School shooting, when the media falsely linked the perpetrators to Manson's music. In response, Manson wrote an op-ed for Rolling Stone titled Columbine, Whose Fault Is It? In the piece, he criticized the media's scapegoating of artists and called for a deeper examination of societal issues. Despite the negative press, the controversy amplified Manson's fame, solidifying his place as a cultural provocateur and a voice for marginalized youth. Evolution of sound and style. In 1998, Manson released Mechanical Animals, an album that marked a departure from his previous work. Inspired by 1970s glam rock, the album showcased a more melodic and experimental sound. Manson adopted an androgynous, alien-like persona to reflect the album's themes of alienation and self-discovery. While Mechanical Animals debuted at No. 1 on the Billboard 200 and received critical acclaim. Some longtime fans criticized its departure from the darker tones of earlier albums. Following this, Manson released Holy Wood, In the Shadow of the Valley of Death, 2000, a concept album that delved into themes of fame, violence, and societal decay. The album was a direct response to the media scrutiny he faced after Columbine, with tracks like The Fight Song and Disposable Teens addressing issues of censorship and media sensationalism. In 2003, the golden age of grotesque further cemented Manson's reputation as a master of reinvention. Drawing inspiration from 1920s Berlin, the album combined swing-era influences with industrial rock, producing hits like Mobstein and Tainted Love. Film, art, and other ventures. Beyond music, Manson has explored various creative pursuits, including acting, painting, and entrepreneurship. He made his film debut in David Lynch's Lost Highway, 1997, and appeared in movies like Party Monster and Jawbreaker. Manson also ventured into television, providing the voice for Shadow in ABC's Once Upon a Time and appearing in HBO's The New Pope. In 1999, Manson began painting watercolors, which he described as a therapeutic outlet. His exhibitions, including the Golden Age of Grotesque and Trismegistus, had showcased his surreal and macabre style. Despite mixed reviews from art critics, Manson's work has attracted collectors and fans worldwide. Additionally, he launched Mansonly, his own brand of absinthe, which earned a gold medal at the San Francisco World Spirits Competition in 2008. Collaborations and influence. Marilyn Manson's collaborations prove he's more than just a rock icon, he's a genre-bending chameleon who refuses to be boxed in. Teaming up with Billy Corgan of the Smashing Pumpkins in his early days showed his knack for blending minds with fellow visionaries. Fast forward to 2021, and he's on Kanye West's Donda, shaking up the hip-hop world with his haunting presence. From working with DMX to Gucci Mane and ASAP Ferg, Manson has dipped his toes into the unexpected, proving that his artistry knows no limits. But his influence doesn't stop at music. Manson's Gothic aesthetic has become a global fashion statement, inspiring edgy runways and bold streetwear alike. Love it or hate it, his dark theatrical style is as iconic as his music. Manson isn't just a collaborator. He's a creative force that reshapes everything he touches. Legal troubles and abuse allegations. Marilyn Manson's career has been as tumultuous as it has been groundbreaking, and the shadows of controversy have followed him like a dark specter. In the late 1990s, whispers of discord among former band members erupted into lawsuits, with accusations of financial misdeeds and physical misconduct casting a shadow over his meteoric rise. If that wasn't enough, the headlines roared again in 2021 when even Rachel Wood, his former fiancée, publicly accused him of sexual and psychological abuse. Her revelations opened the floodgates, with other women stepping forward with similar claims, turning Manson's life into a legal and public relations nightmare. The fallout was immediate and brutal. His record label, talent agency, and longtime manager severed ties, leaving the god of shock rock in professional exile. Manson vehemently denied the allegations, asserting that his relationships were consensual, but the court of public opinion had already rendered its verdict. The ensuing legal battles were a whirlwind of dismissed cases, settlements, and unresolved questions, leaving a trail of speculation and division among fans and critics alike. Despite the chaos, Manson's artistic influence refuses to be eclipsed. His music, provocative performances, and larger-than-life persona still resonate with fans who see him as a misunderstood provocateur rather than a fallen icon. Yet his reputation has taken a hit that even his most theatrical reinventions might struggle to mend. Love him, loathe him, or stand somewhere in between, one thing remains clear. Marilyn Manson is as complex and polarizing as the art he creates, a figure who continues to command attention, whether in admiration or scrutiny. Legacy and cultural impact. Marilyn Manson's legacy is more than music. It's a movement, a challenge, and a conversation that refuses to die down. Dubbed the god of shock rock, he's the artist who dared to hold up a mirror to society and expose its darkest corners, all while wearing makeup that could make even the boldest goth envious. His fearless approach to challenging norms has sparked outrage, debate, and devotion, making him a lightning rod for controversy and a beacon for those who feel unseen. Whether you adore or detest him, Manson's haunting melodies and electrifying performances demand your attention, forcing audiences to confront uncomfortable truths about identity, rebellion, and acceptance. But it doesn't stop at music. His influence has bled into fashion and pop culture, where his Gothic aesthetic has inspired countless designers and fans to embrace their dark side. From the surreal to the grotesque, Manson has turned theatrics into a masterclass in self-expression. He's the voice of the misunderstood, the champion of the outcasts, and the embodiment of art that isn't afraid to provoke and transform. Love him or loathe him, Marilyn Manson has carved out a legacy that ensures one thing: he will never be forgotten. That's all for today's video. If you've enjoyed diving into the chaotic, mesmerizing world of Marilyn Manson, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the lives of iconic figures. Share this video with fellow fans or even the skeptics, and let's keep the conversation going. Stay tuned for more stories that shock, inspire, and leave you wanting more.